And we already established the hadith we talked about the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, that if one of you will run away from his risk, it will catch up with him like death will catch up with him. So don't worry. So very important. So always trying to learn something about Allah that will make you know more about Him, will make you love Him more, and thus, once you love Him more, you want to be closer to Him. You want to get closer to Him. That will build your energy. That will build your himmah. That will build your determination. And the second one, وَمُلَاحَظَةٌ لِمِنَّةٍ تَزْدَادُ بِمُلَاحَظَتِهَا شُكْرًا وَطَاعًا. And the other thing that the soul is hanging around is admitting and accepting and seeing a blessing from Allah. Because of it, it will give you more energy to show gratitude and to make ta'ah. So you look in your life and you see yourself and you realize, Allah gave me this. He didn't give so and so the same thing. So once you see that, that should be enough reason for you to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to make sujood for Him. But if you're always worried about what other people have that you don't have, you'll never be thankful. You will complain. You will complain. And that is something Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala condemns in the Quran. So very important that we don't fall into that. So the soul of the person with high determination always try to see what Allah had blessed it with. So it can be a reason to be thankful and a reason to worship Allah. And that is the attitude of those people. People who want to reach Allah are not worried about looking what other people have. People who are trying to reach Allah, they look at things and everything that brings them closer to Allah. Looking at what people have to envy them on it is not going to take you to Allah. Because an envy is a disease in the heart that will busy your heart away from Allah. Looking at what you have others done will give you the feeling of satisfactions and to be content. Thus, you are thankful to Allah, so your heart is full of the remembrance of Allah. So very important. That is another thing. So always look at those who have less than you. From the dunya, always look at those who have less than you, so you can appreciate what you have. Don't be like the man who came to Ibn Sirin, and he told him, Ibn Sirin, one of the ulama of this ummah, he told him, so and so has a lot of money, and so has a lot of money, and Allah didn't give me anything. He's complaining. First of all, who are you complaining to? And who are you complaining about? You are complaining to a creature about the Creator. What can He do? That's one thing. So there is no help. You never complain about Allah to anyone, because they can do nothing with Allah. But if you want to complain, complain to Allah. Complain to Allah. Nothing wrong with that. Complain to Allah. Tell Allah that your life is difficult and ask Him to make it easy for you. Isn't this what the dua is? Beg Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give you money. You want money? Beg Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why are you going to go around and complain? You think people are concerned? Every person in this dunya has many issues in his life, millions of issues that he will listen to you, he will show you sympathy, he will give you a gesture, he might make few faces to support you, and once you turn your back and you walk away, he's back to his misery that he's living, and to his issues. So who you complain to? So complain to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Ibn Sirin rahimahullah looked at the man and he said, how much would you sell your arm for? The man would not sell his arm. He said, will you sell it for 1,000,000 dirham? He said, no. He said, your other arm, 1,000,000 dirham? He said, no. Your eye, your head, your ear, your tongue, your leg. He said, you have millions of investment and you complain that you're being poor? So this is what we need to think. Have you walked into the people in the white beds in the hospitals to see what they got? And you look at yourself and you're walking. It's enough blessing that you can use the bathroom on your own. It's enough blessing that when you feel thirsty, you are able to get up and go get yourself some water. It's a blessing that a lot of people out there wish if they can get that opportunity. And you complain. And we complain. So always look at those who have less than you, then you will definitely appreciate what you got. With the deen, it's the opposite. With the himmah and determination, you don't look at those who have less determination than you and say, wow, I'm doing great. You look at those who have preceded you. Those who are, because it's a race. So you look at those who are ahead of you and you say, how am I going to catch up with them? So with the deen, with getting to Allah and getting closer to Allah, look at those who have more than you. Then they will give you encouragement and incentive for you to try to be better. So that is the second thing. And the third thing of a person of high determination is always around and his soul is hanging around is a sin that he committed. A sin that he had committed, so he can use it to remind him of Allah and the khashya of Allah. So he looks at his sin and he thinks about something wrong he did. So such realizing of the mistake or of the sin does not make him, hey, you know what, it's not a big deal. It's a small sin. He doesn't think that way. He remembers the greatness of the one he disobeyed. So it makes him fear him more and makes him wants to please him more. As a result, it brings him closer to Allah. So very much those 3 points, there is no third. And as they said, don't look at the small or the small size of your sin. لا تنظر إلى صغر المعصية ولكن انظر إلى عظم من عصيت. Don't look at how small your sin was, but look at the greatness of the one you committed the sin against, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when you look at every sin you commit, and every disobedience you commit, and every hudud or had or borders or limit of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala you crossed, and you realize that you had angered the Lord, and you understand that you have to work hard to please Him again. You will understand that you have to do more to get closer to Him, because now it took you a little step away. So always you around like that, learning about Allah, to love Him more, remembering a blessing Allah had blessed you with, so you can thank Him for, or remembering a sin you committed against Him, so you can fear Him more. So that is very important, where your soul and the soul of the person with high determination, the person who wants to reach Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the person who wants the akhirah, Ya akhi, remember the akhirah, that is what's eternal, and that is what's everlasting. This dunya will vanish. I don't guarantee anyone right here will leave tonight alive. I don't know. If you know, I don't know how you know. But no one guarantees that you're going to be able to cross and leave this masjid tonight. So work for the akhirah. And that is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants you to work for. And listen to this. The dunya and this whole dunya is really nothing. يقول الله سبحانه وتعالى, as Imam al-Ghazali rahimahullah said, he said, وَإِذَا رَأَيْتَ ثَمَّ رَأَيْتَ نَعِيمًا وَمُلْكًا عَظِيمًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says and talks to us, when you see ثَمَّ رَأَيْتَ, ثَمَّ يعني هناك, يعني في الآخرة, in the hereafter, you will see there And you will see again, mulkan azim na'iman, great pleasure, and great mulk, and great kingdom. That is in the